You know, sometimes in this business you get sent on wild goose chases. Or call it a crocodile chase, call it whatever you like, but it's what the art and antiques business is all about. Chasing down interesting objects, finding a market and selling them. But is this going to be a wild goose chase? Wild geese will make sense. I mean, look, there is a giraffe there. So we are in a garden in Northumberland full of animals. 300 animals?
300.
300 animals.
Concrete animals.
Concrete animals.
Yes.
As well as concrete people. Look, there's a concrete lady taking her concrete donkey for a walk. Just round the corner, there's a long-horned cow looking a bit surprised. And to the right-hand side, there is a concrete hero, Winston Churchill. This little English garden just south of the Scottish border in Northumberland is full of surprises. So Charles Hanson, my great mate from Hanson's Auctioneers, has sent me up here to meet Rik from Hanson's. You've travelled how many hours?
5 hours.
5 hours. Yeah. I've done 2.5. And we've met in this rather eccentric garden in Northumberland.
It's a bit surreal.
It's a bit odd. It's like a zoo with no noise.
Yeah. Reminds me of Père Lachaise in France, but a kind of fairy tale version.
It is a bit of a fairy tale version. It's just bonkers. So this garden was opened to the public, we think, in the 70s. And all of these animals were made, we reckon, from the 50s onwards. And all made here, right here in this Northumberland garden by a master joiner named John Fairnington, who lived here for many years with his wife and his disabled son. And in actual fact, he designed and built the animals purely for the enjoyment of his disabled son, who could wander around the garden and admire animals from around the exotic world, including local animals like this quirky-looking pig. Now, they've been in the same family forever, but the family want to move on. They've got new ideas. They want to sell these animals. But the question is, can we sell the animals? Can we sell them? How are we going to sell them? This is a behind-the-scenes look at what we have to do, right, Rik, isn't it, in the world of selling art, antiques and things. How are we going to sell these things?
This is an everyday dilemma for an auction house.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating place. You know, you feel privileged to come and be given the job of selling it, but how do you sell it? You know,
yeah, exactly.
What are the pitfalls? What are the possibilities?
Who's going to buy them? How much are they going to pay? And is the owner, you know, are they bought into the fact that these things are very difficult to value, literally worth what someone's going to pay for them on the day, and they all need to go pretty quickly. So they've got to be are they realistic in the value?
The first thing I always do is get the brief. You know, what's the client's brief? Are they looking for money? Are they looking for clearance? Are they looking for a quick result? She's a lady that wants her garden back, basically. She wants it to be a garden again, and not what it is. She wants to get access all the way around.
Sure. But how am I going to get involved here? Now, I can help in the marketing and promotion, but I don't know lots of people who are going to want to buy concrete sculptures. It's quite a restricted market, isn't it?
It is. Now, you know, you look at the options of how can you sell it as an auction house. You've got two ways to sell it. One way is you do 300 lots, 300 animals. Yeah. You put a value on each one. Yeah. But then you look at the pitfalls of that, because if the brief is to sell, then there's every chance that you're not going to sell all of them.
No, exactly.
So some are going to get left behind. Or do you do it as a one-lot sale, sell the entire collection, and do lots of media and networking and see if you can find that, maybe a safari park, maybe.
Yep, safari park would be ideal. Maybe an eccentric owner of a great big country estate. That would suit these animals, because the idea here is that the owners want to clear this place and, as you said, get it back to a family garden.
Yeah. I think...
What do you think? Seriously, look around this place. You've got to ask these questions. How are you going to move them? Who's going to buy them? What are they worth?
So it's almost like having 300 really big old tree stumps that have got to be excavated, because these are on poles that go into the ground.
They're not.
Yeah. So they started with a pole into the ground, and then they built on top of that to keep them solid. So it's almost like Stonehenge principle.
Oh, hang on a moment.
So from what you can see on the top, you've got structure underneath, keeping it in place. They're not just balanced there, are they?
Okay, time to try and get our heads around this. So the big giraffes, they're set into the earth using poles. The man with the tin hat, he's interesting. He'll move all right. Big cows, they're set with poles, so they're going to have to be cut off their bases. Little stubby cow, probably move all right. Like, Lord, there's a camel there. And sat on top of the camel is Laurence of Arabia. But to move Laurence, you're going to need a crane.
And where's the crane going to go? That's the other thing. We're in somebody's back garden. Where's the crane going to go? This is another thing. And if you did sell them at auction, safe it. Just imagine if you did sell them all. Say there was no reserve. Somebody bought all of them. All of those different customers have still got to pay to get them extracted from the ground and transported to wherever they're going.
That's right. And is the seller realistic with their... Have they said... just sell them for what they're worth, which is the market price on the day? Have they said that?
They haven't, no. They haven't.
So what do they think they're worth?
Well, they've got one special piece that they obviously really do love, and they're putting a price on that based on how much they don't want to sell, I think.
Which
is unrealistic, and that's the rhino that they're saying around the £20,000 mark. Now,
the rhino?
Yes. The rhino.
Sorry, £20,000.
£20,000.
For a concrete rhino.
However, two of the penguins, they've recently sold for £200 each, which is a bit more obviously realistic, but you can't be thinking that everything is going to be in between that. You can't say the rest of it, 200 is your starting price, but you might get up to 20,000.
Yeah.
It's
a tricky one, Rick. This one's a really tricky one.
It's a really tricky one.
Do you know what I think I would, if I owned this lot? I think I'd be inclined to sell the house with the garden and go and buy another house.
I think so.
And let someone buy the house with all of the ornamentation as a bit of an eccentric, funky garden. Because it is lovely, and it could be a lovely garden with this stuff. There is potential. What are we going to do, Rick? How are we going to get these things away? Let's think aloud here. Help.
And
Hanson's Auctioneers, do you sell houses?
No.
You should do. Because I think we should offer to sell the whole house and everything.
And relocate the owner.
Relocate the owner, not relocate these things. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, after what seemed to be like no ending amount of time discussing this, we've chatted with the owner, Charles Hanson. Rik and I have come up with a plan, and this is it. Now, the owner doesn't want to sell the house. I don't blame her. She wants to stay, clear the garden, start again, and build a swimming pool. Well, why wouldn't you if you could? But the great thing with that is this. We need a crane in this garden, and that's fine. We can drive a crane through it. It's not going to harm anything at all. So the plan is we're going to offer the whole lot, one job lot, the whole shebang for £20,000 to £30,000. Estimates in auction, take them away, and coming up soon. What do you think? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll come back soon with an update. From me, David Harper, it's goodbye, and from Rik,
goodbye.
Cheerio.